Hey guys, this is Lil with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I wanted to follow on the last video I did about what gear you should keep and what gear you should sell to keep your gear under control. And today I wanted to talk about gearing champions for different areas of the game and for different stages of your account, from sort of mid-game through to late game through to end game. Gearing champs. Let's flip over. I'm mainly going to talk on my free-to-play account today because I feel like it's probably a bit more relatable as we talk about sort of how we would build different champs. I'm going to talk about how I approach it and what sort of stats you should be looking for different areas of the game. Okay, so this is my free-to-play account. And in fact, I pulled a champ I would love to have on my main account, which is Necmo. I'm really short of sort of speed champs, speed up and speed down. So I would love Necmothar on my main account, but I haven't. I got him on the free to play, which seems to always be the way. So just in terms of stats that you're looking for when you're mid game. The first thing to do when you get a new champ is check if they've got any debuffs, and if they have, they need accuracy, unless it says cannot be resisted. If it says places, that means that they're not hitting, so they will place it even if they weak hit. It's not tied to a hit, but they still need accuracy for it. Excuse me. So what I'm looking for from Necmo here is I want accuracy on him. Now, depending on where you are, my account is mid-game. I've done all the dungeon. I do all dungeons at 20 on this free-to-play account. And I'd like it to progress a little bit further in Hydra. I'd like to be able to do hard, so Necmo could probably come into that team for me. So I'm going to aim his stats around there. I can do Doom Tower normal, so I would say I'm pretty mid-game. Maybe moving into late game. So my sort of baseline that I'm looking for from stats, I want at least 200 speed on every champ, unless it's a damage dealer, a nuker. And then I want the accuracy to do the job. Now, how much accuracy you need depends on where you go. If you're stage 20 dungeons, you want sort of 200 to 250. Stage 25 dungeons, you want around that 250 mark. Hard 10 dungeons, you want sort of the 300 to 350 mark, and the same with Doom Tower Hard, you want kind of 350. So that's what I will aim for in this instance. As a sort of more mid-game, I'm actually, from a support type champ, I'm looking faster speed, higher accuracy, and tanky stats. So I want Necmo really to be at least 220 speed and at least 300, 350 accuracy. That's what I'll be aiming for, building out Necmo. And where I'm getting that, honestly, where I need a 350, it depends. If I'm just trying to hit stats, which is what I would be doing on a sort of early mid-game account, you go speed and you either look for accuracy in your substats or you go for an accuracy chest. And it depends on your gear whether you need that. Yeah, you might have enough perception gear that you can run a defensive chest, HP gloves, and then get enough accuracy in your set bonuses and in substats and in your banner to hit that 350 mark. But don't worry if you need to put an accuracy chest on people. I've got plenty of people with an accuracy chest on. My Madame is absolutely in an accuracy chest, as I imagine most are. Because I need a lot of accuracy on her to buff strip. So that's sort of, I would say, and in fact I've got this table which I think I showed before, which is my sort of Hydra key when I'm thinking about building champs for Hydra. I want 350 accuracy, and if I'm building a Mischief tank, they want 450 resist. Hydra Nightmare, I aim for these sorts of stats. 240 speed on your support champs and on your debuffers, 350 accuracy, and everyone I try to aim 40k HP and 2.5k defense. Let's talk about a couple of other exceptions to those rules. So clan boss, you're usually, if you're not doing an unkillable team, you're probably going for very slow, so more 190 type speed, but very high defense, so 3,500 defense. Same sort of accuracy levels around that 250 mark. Other exceptions, arena, if you're pushing sort of high gold 5 plat arena, you want to be aiming for 550 plus accuracy if it's a debuffer or a stripper, and I would say the same level of resist. These days with artifact enhancement, you probably want slightly higher than that, if I'm honest. The only other exception to that is Sand Devil and Iron Twins, where you start getting into the 500 accuracy requirement for stage 15. So Sand Devil and Iron Twins both want about 550 accuracy. For everywhere else in the game, 350 accuracy is perfect. So if you're more mid-game, stage 20 dungeons, normal Doom Tower, aim for 250. If you're then pushing into Doom Tower Hard, aim for 350. And I would say again, you know, before you get to those stages, I would just aim for the sort of 200 speed and the 250 accuracy. Okay, the only thing that I would say is, so if I take a look at my if I take a look at my Python, for example, here, this is my Python on this account. I would say this account is moving into late game, so I've kept him quite tanky, high speed, and a decent amount of resist. Not enough resist for arena, but again, this, you know, for this account, that's absolutely fine. If I then take a look at the Python on my main account, wherever he is, I'll find him in a second. Here he is. Here I've been able to take double Defiant sets, because as you get later in the game, you can just hit those stats that you want to hit, you know, and I've kept him sort of, you know, very high resist. You can hit those stats while picking specific sets. So like my Ugo on this account, my main Ugo for Nightmare Hydra, again, I've managed to keep her, you know, good health, good defense, good speed, and a high amount of accuracy to do her job in a taunting set. Now, those are things that you can't do when you're early game, mid game, you know, even into the late game, and that's why you often hear people saying stats over sets. Is, do you know what, you probably need the set bonuses to make up the stat numbers that you need. You know, once your Great Hall starts getting maxed and you start getting better gear with some better ascensions on it and things, hitting those numbers becomes a lot easier. But that's my sort of my standard is, you know, okay, damage dealers, obviously you want damage gloves, you want whatever drives their damage as a main stat on the chest. If you can get away with it, you want that again on the boots. And then you want everything else to be, you know, your crit rate, crit damage. Support champs, you want tanky, you need to hit the accuracy that they need, and you want them fast. You know, if you're looking at Hydra, building Immortal into them is a really good option for sort of making you last longer in those fights. So that's it from me, guys. So again, what I'm looking for normally, mid-game, when you're at those sort of stage 20 dungeons, Doom Tower normal, I'm looking 200 speed on my normal people, a bit lower on damage dealers, and then 250 accuracy. When you move later and start getting into Doom Tower Hard and some of the other content, then I would look at 350, yeah, and that'll see you through Doom Tower Hard and Hydra everywhere. I would also try and push your speed up more, getting towards 220, and then when you're getting sort of end game, then I would start pushing that much higher. you know, go as high as you can. Like, and it depends on the champ. Like Duchess doesn't need any accuracy in her build, so it's much easier to get her going very fast with very tanky stats and still hit resist numbers that you want for arena, for example. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you all in the next one. Do please hit me a like and subscribe if you like it. Cheers, guys. Bye.